Today we are going to understand some life lessons from chapter number 1, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, as you all know, was spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It's a timeless wisdom. It can transform your life. With that objective, let's start. First of all, I will explain you the gist about the chapter number 1, what happened there. In the first chapter, Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya, what is the status of war? To that, Sanjaya replies that the battlefield is all set. You can see all the warriors from the Pandavas and from the Kauravas side lined up against each other. He mentions all the warriors. He also mentions how Duryodhan, who feels insecure, who lacks some kind of self-belief, goes and checks with his Guru Dronacharya. The various conch shells were blown just before the start of the war. Then Arjuna requests Lord Krishna to take his chariot in between the armies. He just wanted to check who all are the warriors standing to fight against him. Lord Krishna took the chariot and put his chariot in front of Guru Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, and all his relatives. As soon as Arjuna saw that his relatives, his Guru, Bhishma Pitama, whom he loved so much, were going to fight against him, he started to have feelings of compassion and attachment. He started to give excuses like, if we win the war, we'll just get the land, we'll win the kingdom. But what is the point of this kingdom if we kill our own kinmen, our own relatives? This will lead us to hell. That was his argument. And after that, he feels very weakening and he kind of surrenders to Lord Krishna and starts crying. Keeps his bows and arrows aside. This was the gist of chapter number 1. What did we learn from this? Was Arjuna wrong? Was he fighting the war in search of or to fulfill his greed? Or was he fighting to instill dharma? Those were the questions, and that is what we need to understand from life lessons from chapter number 1. Let's start. The first one is attachment. What happens with the attachment? Arjuna, he, because of his compassion, because of his attachment to various kinmen, like his Guru Dronacharya or Bhishma Pitama, he started feeling compassion for them. He started feeling attached. He forgot his duty. He forgot that those people were fighting against dharma. And someone who is fighting against dharma has to be killed. That was his duty as a warrior. If someone is going to fight against him, he has to fight. He cannot take a step back. But due to his attachment, he lost his judgment. Even though he was on the right side, He started to feel that he was going to perform sins and his actions would lead him to hell, which was his wrong judgment. And that too, because he was Bhakt of Bhagwan. That is why he had this feeling of compassion. On the other hand, if you look at Dhritarashtra, his attachment to his sons, he could see that Duryodhan and his sons were on the wrong side. He did all ill tactics against Pandavas, but he was greedy. He wanted his son to be shown in as king, and he had that jealousy factor against Pandavas that led him to path of adharma. So this is the first life lesson. Attachment clouds judgment. Excessive attachment can obscure truth and weaken our ability to make righteous decisions. This happens even with us. So if you're highly attached to anything, your judgment will be impacted. Just make sure you keep the attachment aside and take practical decisions. If you're keeping the attachment aside, most of the time you'll be on the right side. Let's move on to the next lesson. Attachment creates fear of the unknown. Again, this enemy attachment, what it does, creates the fear of what? Something we don't know. It just created anxiety. Oh, that will happen. This will happen if I do that. And somehow we lose our focus from our duty. That is what this attachment does. It happened with Arjuna. Arjuna started thinking, oh, I will kill my guru, Bhishma Pitama. I may win the war, but I would see them dying. Or he started to have that anxiety. If I somehow get killed, or if I lose this war. So all sorts of confusions. Even though he was the greatest one, he had all the ability. Still, he started to have fear. This happens with us. If you are very much attached to people, possessions, positions, outcomes, these things will add fear because you will have that fear of losing them. As soon as you remove that attachment, your fear would be gone. But since you are attached, immediate fear is of losing them. This fear generates anxiety. You will have continuous anxiety. I'll lose this. Something will happen. Confusion, indecision. Should I do this or not? This, even though it's your duty, you lose that focus. This is our second life lesson. So attachment, first it clouds your judgment, and then it adds fear. Third life lesson. This comes from Duryodhana. He was very egoistic. He was very proudy. He was very jealous as well. That came from his ego. And what happened with that? It led to insecurity. In the chapter number 1, it is clearly stated, after seeing the army of Pandavas, he went to Guru Dronacharya, asked him, what is the status? How will we win the war? But he didn't want to show this, that he was lacking self-belief. He was insecure. He didn't want to show this. But internally, his confidence, it was just a show off. And he lacked self-belief. He started to feel Pandavas are very much strong. Then, to satisfy his ego, he started saying, okay, I have this warrior, that warrior. Somehow he was lacking self-belief. He was not even trusting his team. He was disrespecting the elders like Guru Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, by showing lack of trust in them. This is what happens with ego and pride. Make sure that keep your ego and pride aside. Look from the lens of truth, and then automatically it will bring humility, self-belief. That's the third life lesson. Let's move on to the fourth one. Misguided compassion can become an excuse to avoid duty. That's what happened with Arjuna. Arjuna had this misguided compassion for his guru, for his Bhishma Pitama, for his relatives. Why was it misguided? Because they were on the wrong side. They were on the path of adharma. It was his duty as a warrior to fight them and win the war against them, win the war for dharma. That was his duty. So this is what happens with misguided compassion. So your compassion shouldn't be mixed with attachment and emotion. It can, or it will actually become your reason to run away from your duty, your responsibilities. That's the fourth life lesson. So again, we can see attachment leads to emotional weaknesses. Then you will end up avoiding duty. Now the fifth one, self-reflection. The good thing about Arjuna was he was open. He was open to Lord Krishna. He expressed his fears, his doubts, his confusions, and inner conflict. He was self-analyzing himself. He self-analyzed. He self-reflected. What were his problems? What was he thinking? He opened up himself. Lord Krishna was the Guru, is the Guru. And expressing in front of Lord Krishna, he would get his answers. He would get the guidance. In a similar way, we should reflect upon ourselves. We should do self-examination. We should do self-analysis. And when we don't get the right answers, right path, we should go to some spiritual guru, ask their guidance, listen to them, listen to their satsangas, and see what is the right path. That is the fifth life lesson, self-reflection. And if you want to become someone who has knowledge, who has wisdom, the first step is self-reflection. This is what we have learned in the chapter number 1, Bhagavad Gita. Glories to Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna. May Lord Krishna give you all the strength and happiness every day. Thank you so much.